Well, I've not been out too much lately because we've had Christmas and New Year's and all that stuff going on. I've done some short lure sessions recently after some zander, but I'm actually going to go out fishing now. I'm just on my way to the Upper Lea and I'm going to do a bit of float fishing and trotting. I haven't really got a targeted species today, but what I have set myself is a small challenge to try and catch as many species as possible in a short day's fishing. I've caught plenty of barbel from here before on the float, chub, some nice dace, gudgeon, roach, perch, minnows, all them kind of species that you'd find in a river in the UK. And I've caught them in short sessions as well. Lots of different species in days fishing up here. So I'm just on my way up here. Got float rod and a small little net, minimal tackle. I'm actually going to meet my friend Carl, who works in Oakwood. His dad owns it, Oakwood Angling. He's brought some maggots and some bait along because we're going to have a little day's fishing together. And thank God, because the tackle shop's been closed over the Christmas period. So yeah, that's the aim today. A little bucket list of species, and fingers crossed we can catch a few. Just arrived at our first little location of the day. It's a spot that I fished loads in the past, and I had some great mornings fishing here. It's on the Upper Lea, and you tend to get a lot of species congregate here. It's like, as you can see, it's a bigger type pool area with a couple of smaller bits of the Lea coming in. Just seen Carl, he's going to bring some maggots. Oh my god, it looks like he's got about 2 gallon with him. Yeah, just seeing Carl, he's grabbed a coffee, and yeah, gonna get fishing and try and catch a few. See how it goes for an hour or so. Obviously we've got a few species that we're trying to tick off, and there's a few different stretches that we're gonna try. So let's see what produces here, and we'll go from there. Nice and simple, nice and light. A little hard case with a little bit of tackle, a small mat in case we catch a nice barbel, and an acolyte float rod. Nice and simple and nice and light. Got a nice selection there, Carl. I weren't lying when I said that you brought the tackle shop.
Cast iron, pellet, everything. We won't go wrong.
Keeping it nice and simple today, just trying to get as many bites as possible from all the others, all the different species that we're targeting. A small stick float to a 3-pound 8 hook to nylon. A little bit heavier, but like I said, I am trying to catch a few barbel and chub today, so I don't want to be fishing too light and risk snapping off. 6-pound float fish main line and a light 12-foot acolyte rod. And nice and simple maggots for my feed and hook bait. First chub of the day, first species off the list, about ½ pound. Probably looks a bit smaller with my big fingers, but yeah, nice little fight on the light rod. Let's get back. Wait till I hook a 10-pound barbel. Second species of the day, lovely little gudgeon. They all count when you're species hunting. Even the little pesty minnow. Although he's not actually that small for a River Lea minnow. Let's get him back. Well, how about that? I think it's the 4th species today. I thought I broke the gudgeon record for a second, but it turned out to be a little baby barbel. He ain't stopped wriggling and he's been a little bit of a pain to get up for video. But well chuffed with that, to be fair. Just goes to show what you can catch in a short morning's fishing. Here's the biggest chub of the day, probably a couple of pound, but a lovely fish, especially to catch on such light tackle. Well chuffed with that one. The bites are seen to dried up a little bit out in the main river. So I'm just fishing this small inlet stream here. It's usually good for some dace, and I haven't caught a dace yet, so I'm going to try and catch one out of here. Just running the float through. It's only a short run. I've already had a couple of minnows, but I'm sure it won't be long until I catch a dace. The urban dace, another one ticked off the list. The dace was probably the hardest to catch out of everything, and I'm certainly pleased with that. I love dace, beautiful bars of silver, and they really do give a good fight on that light acolyte rod. Another species. How about that for a beautiful River Lea roach? It's another species off the list, and he's actually quite a nice one. I also had a really nice chub and a dace whilst fishing in one of the little inlet streams. That's pretty much all the species that I could think of that I was going to catch up here, and I managed to catch them all. So I'm super chuffed with that result. I'm probably going to fish for another hour or so, get a hot chocolate and enjoy my morning.
That's decent. That's a barbel, isn't it? That's a good fish. That is, isn't it? You've hooked a barbel. Go on, Av.
There you go, lovely little barbel on the float. Gave a wicked fight on that light float rod. And it's another species this morning. It's probably about 1.5 pounds, and I'm super pleased with that. What a beautiful fish. Well, I've enjoyed my fishing this morning. I've managed to catch 6 species. I've had a chub, well, multiple chub, quite a few minnows, gudgeon, some nice roach, had a nice roach actually, a barbel and a dace. So yeah, 6 species in a morning's fishing, and I've really enjoyed myself. It's been the first time I've been out since Christmas, and it's just nice to be on the bank. But I'm gonna call it a day and head off home shortly. The weather's pretty miserable. I didn't check the weather today. Yeah, I didn't realise that it was going to be quite as wet and windy as it has been. Yeah, been a great day's fishing and can't complain on a lovely winter's day.